good evening. The dinner was delicious. Of course it was. Parrish practically poured their heart and soul into it. Sal had moved the big dining room table out into the backyard, and Amelie had spent all afternoon reworking a set of string lights to provide illumination needed to decorate the entire field with a gentle glow. There were some mosquitoes, but Yazeba's magic kept most of them at bay, and under the summer stars, the whole house rejoiced well into the night. Gertrude slammed the screen door behind her as she stumbled into the kitchen. The muggy weather clung to her skin, and she lifted up her mask to wipe away the pools of sweat that had formed. The kitchen was dark, with only a single bulb hanging over the sink where a pile of dirty dishes lay, ready to be washed. Parrish sat on a stool with a plate held under the warm tap water. "Oh, hi, Parrish." Gertrude leaned against one of the cabinets like she didn't know where to put herself.
Parrish spun around. Gertrude, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be enjoying dinner?
"I'm not hungry," Gertrude said, and Parrish could tell she was lying. "I should be asking you the same thing. Why aren't you out there?"
I was tired. I wanted to get started on the dishes, Parrish said, and Gertrude could tell he was lying.
"Oh, okay. Can I help?"
Parrish paused. Of course.
And so, under a flickering bulb in a house that at times felt a little too big and a little too loud, surrounded by the chirping of cicadas and buzzing mosquitoes, Gertrude picked up a dish towel and started washing out one of the many mugs balanced at the edge of the sink. Hello and good evening, and welcome to episode 11 of Room for Everyone, the Yazeba's Bed and Breakfast actual play. I'm Natalie from Charm Person Games, and tonight I will be your concierge, and in addition, I'll be playing Gertrude, a masked teenage runaway who uses she/her pronouns.
Hi everyone, I'm Leslie. I use she, her pronouns. I will be playing Amelie, a workaholic robotic housekeeper who uses they, them pronouns.
I'm Stephanie, the other half of Charm Person Games, playing Hey Kid, a devil child with a lot of energy and not a lot of sense, who uses they, them pronouns.
I'm Max. I use they, he pronouns, and I play Parrish, a brave frog who was once a knight and is now the chef at the bed and breakfast. Parrish uses he, him pronouns.
Hey everyone, I'm Sebastian. I use they, them pronouns. I'm a TTRPG writer and performer playing the Moon Prince, the runaway prince of the Moon Kingdom, who also uses they, them pronouns.
Tonight we have a very special guest staying at the bed and breakfast. Would you please introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Jay Dragon. I'm one of the writers for Yazeba's Bed and Breakfast. I'm the editorial director of Possum Free Games. I don't use pronouns, and I'll be playing Yola Oleander, a very old shrub spirit who uses she/her pronouns.
Yazeba's Bed and Breakfast is split into separate chapters that each use their own rules. Tonight we'll be playing Chapter 12, After Dinner. In tonight's episode, Gertrude, Parrish, and the rest of our B&B residents and guests are going to do the dishes while we all try to figure out where we fit in. So, I think we start off with just Parrish and Gertrude in the kitchen.
I think Yola is in the kitchen as well. However, she's not. She's kind of sleeping.
Okay.
It's kind of a way where it's like, at the corner of the kitchen, right? There's like some of these large ferns that Amelie likes to keep, and there's like, large fern, old lady in a wheelchair, large fern, and old lady is made out of plants. So she looks kind of like a large fern, and so it's just this. She's just kind of sitting there and not really doing, kind of appears to be sleeping. But that's all.
Presuming that Gertrude hasn't initiated any conversation that is currently happening, Parrish, after some silent dishwashing, will try to prod her for a little more information, saying, has something got your appetite? Has something upset you, or did you eat something that upset your stomach earlier?
Oh, no, you don't need to bother with me. Everything's fine. Your food is always so good, Parrish.
It's not a bother. Not only is it quite literally my job, but I want to make sure that you're eating properly.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm eating just fine. I think I probably ate too many cookies earlier. Hey Kid got into them, and I kind of stole some too.
Hey Kid is rubbing off on all of you with my cookies, it seems. The market has had to double order flour for me for the last month. And he reaches over you for another dish.
I think at this point, actually, the Moon Prince would come into the kitchen and be like, "Oh, there you are, Gertrude. I was looking for you, actually."
Oh, hey MP, I'm just helping out with the dishes, day porter stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But, is there anything I can help with? And I'll look towards, I'm assuming it's like a really big tottering pile of dishes.
I think it's a ridiculous number of dishes. Like,
yeah. Okay, I will squeeze myself, I guess, kind of,
let's,
so I have room by the sink.
Yeah. Let's try to make a line. MP, you can pass, and I'll wash, and Gertrude, you can dry.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
I can certainly do that. Also, bingo for making myself useful. Amazing.
Best kitchen is an efficient kitchen.
Yeah. I think I'll give it to Gertrude.
Yeah.
Aww.
Cool.
I think
you take the token off of Gertrude's question then.
I think Yola, I think there's so I think that most of the kitchen counter is covered in dishes, right? But there's the big stove, which is kind of dirty and got pots on it, right? Because it was just making food, and like now that hasn't really gotten to those yet. And they're just kind of sitting on the stove. But there's a little corner of the stove that's cleared off, and there's a little metal tea kettle that is like one of those like old kind of little metal tea kettles, and it starts to whistle, and Yola kind of perks up. And I changed my mind. She's not in a wheelchair. She's like one of those like old wicker chairs, and she's got her little walker, and she kind of like lifts herself up. And like while people are kind of starting to wash dishes, getting ready, she totters past everyone and over to the like kind of this like little bit of motion going on like in front of everyone to like get her tea. And then it's like, excuse me, kind of like, oh, excuse me, and like pushes her like, do you have any clean mugs?
You scared the crap out of Parrish.
Yeah, just like emerging from the darkness, like a full plant that like is just like
he's clutching his
like she is only a little bit taller than Parrish, which is like saying something, like she is this like, and like a lot of it is just that she is like a full 90-degree angle of a back.
Yeah, me too.
Didn't we have a special tea kettle in the bed and breakfast too?
Ethel.
I haven't gotten to interact with
Ethel
it
the
yet.
kettle.
Ethel.
Oh, hello. Tell me more about Ethel the kettle.
Somebody
have a
gonna
special-
take me off the stoves? Come on, this is a little hot, you know.
Oh, Ethel, don't worry. I'll take care of it in time.
Oh,
And
Yola, I hadn't seen you in forever. How are you, darling?
Oh dear, I'm doing well ever since the queen got off of me. I've been able to take care of things fine. She was such a bore up in Scotland. I'm sure you're
God,
familiar.
tell me
You
about it.
remember that well? Oh, indeed. I am going to spread libel or over exaggerated gossip as I
love
proceed to
that.
gossip with the tea kettle about and in doing so, I think that Yola kind of absentmindedly takes one of the one of the plates and just kind of starts like one of the mugs and starts washing it and like kind of like kind of like scrubbing it with a little towel as she talks to Ethel and going to and I'm gonna give
Ethel
that
fully
one-
just
I'm gonna-
gossips
I'm gonna-
right back.
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna give that token to Parrish as an apology for scaring him.
Oh, thank
I think this is the first time that Moon Prince has taken notice of Yola and is going to be like, "Oh, I didn't see you there. Sorry. Have we met?"
Oh well, maybe we've met. It's hard to keep track of such things. You do look very familiar, though. You remind me of a fellow. I think he was the monarch of some. Have you ever met the King of the Moon? You look just like him.
We've met.
Oh, I understand. Well, it's nice to meet you, young fellow. I'm Yola Oleander. I've been here, since for a very long time. You probably just didn't notice me because I was taking a nap.
Yes, that's precisely what happened. Well, my name is the
You
Moon
should pay more
Prince.
attention when people. Oh, you're the Moon Prince! Oh my goodness. I think she does a little bit. I don't think she does the like invasive grandparent thing, but she does kind of like give you the little like, oh, you look just like your father. You know, he was a very dashing fellow when I met him in the court. He would always be so nice to all the plants, even though none of them are as pretty as me. And I think just following that up, I am absolutely refusing to act my age, and I'm just like, he would always be so sweet with the roses. He'd always pick them to give to that lady. What was her name? Oh, Princess Diana. He would always be talking to her. But it was really me he fancied. He would always go as an excuse to talk to me. What can you do? Such is the way with men. And your father, handsome fellow, just like him.
Honestly, thank you. I've been told, people tell me that I look more like my mother.
Oh, her? Yola can't control herself. It makes a little face. It's like, oh, no, that's not true. Let me get you some tea.
Thank you. And I'll pass the dish to, I don't know which direction we're going in. Am I taking it from Gertrude or passing
I
it to
think
Gertrude?
at this point we've all lost the plot,
Okay.
the system for doing the dishes
immediately,
anyway.
yes.
Like Parrish gave us
Doing the
orders.
dishes is such.
I
Yes,
feel
very
like it was a
true.
really simple order.
It was, but I'd forgotten it.
That sounds right for this
In
group.
fact, I think Gertrude's
yeah.
going to punctuate that by dropping a dish.
Oh
Is
no!
it a dish that can break, or does it just make a noise?
I was gonna say,
No,
actually,
I
I think as you drop that dish, all of a sudden Amelie comes in and catches the dish.
Okay.
And that's gonna be anticipate and avert a potential mess, so I'm gonna bingo there.
Ooh.
Okay.
Amelie
Nice.
catches it and is like, Gertrude, please be careful. Things can break.
And I'm messing up something I thought I could handle there instead of breaking a dish. I'm doing a different whoopsie than I thought I was going into that one.
Ooh.
So I'll give you that token, Amelie.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna give my token. Ooh.
But you did a bingo. You get to keep it.
Oh, I get to keep it. I just get to keep it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll keep
Well,
it. Oh, wait, the number still goes down though, right?
Yes, the
you're
number on the
taking it.
card
number
goes
still goes
down.
down.
Get to that.
And you can put it on the
Mhm.
final question, or you can keep it for yourself.
I am gonna
for
put it on the final
housekeeping.
question. And I'll keep
Mhm.
the one you gave me. As you see, Amelie's other hand has like another stack of dishes in it, and she catches that loose one, or they catch that loose one. They're like, "Please be careful, Gertrude."
Oh, hi, Amelie. We were gonna take care of the cleaning tonight. Give you a night off.
That's not plausible.
Can handle it. Why don't you sit, Amelie?
Oh, here, Amelie, sit over here. There's an extra wicker chair now that I'm standing up for the first time in a while. Very comfortable. You know, I've stayed there for almost 3 years.
3 years. Perfect. I think Amelie's like little LED eyes blink a little bit and they go, I will take a short break then. And I would love to sit with you, Yola. That would be wonderful.
Well, please do. I'm sure we have so many stories to tell. You've been watering me for so long, but we haven't had a chance to talk.
That is fair. We have not had a chance to talk. I hope that was okay that I watered you, correct? I assumed so.
No, it was very good. I would have died otherwise. This is how plants work, my dear.
I thought so, but I did not think to ask.
Don't worry, I wouldn't have answered. I was too busy taking a nap.
Also very
and I'm
fair.
going to bring 2 mugs, one of which has tea and the other one doesn't, so that Amelie and I can sit together and hold our tea together. And even though Amelie won't drink it,
Well, Amelie has been
Well,
tasting
Amelie,
stuff lately.
Amelie can consume.
Amelie can drink now. Never mind. Yola, in
Yeah.
fact, just fully brings 2 cups of tea. Yola brings a second cup of tea for Amelie.
Amelie has some upgrades and can
and it-
eat.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, Yola, in that case, I think cleans out a second cup and is like, listen, I'm sure you have so many stories to tell. I'm so interested in what kind of gossip you hear as a young robot flitting around this
Oh,
very large place full of people.
I do hear quite a bit. I try to keep it to myself, though, because I don't know what the policy is around spreading hearsay.
Oh, I'm sure hearsay is fine. Why would Yazeba? Yazeba's such a sweetheart. She wouldn't bother. Listen, you can tell me anything. What? Listen, it's not gossip if you keep it to yourself. Then it's just a secret. That's why it's important to share. Now, come on, have some tea. I brewed it just for you.
That completely makes sense to me. Of course. Thank you so much, Yola. And Amelie will take a sip. And it's like,
I am doing a gosh darn, I'm doing a bingo or whoopsie. I think I am pouring a cup of soothing tea. I'm gonna take this token though. Yeah, no, I'll never mind. I'll take it from the same spot. We will just, I think, take another. I think I pour Amelie the cup. Amelie, I wonder, what tea do you think I prepare for you?
that's a really good question. I think
What flavor hits?
I think you prepared Amelie a cup of like not like a masala chai, but like a milder chai that has that little bit of spice to it. Because Amelie has actually grown to be very attracted to spicy things. After the night market, when Amelie ate a bunch of interesting things, including cheesecake on a stick, apparently was consumed at the night market. Amelie has realized that was too rich and like spicy things.
That makes a lot of sense. So I think it is, and there's a little bit of cinnamon on there. It's a warm milk chai. And I think Yola has cleaned off a second plate, a second mug, immediately making them dirty again, of course. But it's kind of just like pushing past Parrish and Gertrude and Moonprince to like take cups from them and immediately dirty them again. But as you know, she cleans her own dishes. So I think she sits down with Amelie to gossip while everyone else is cleaning.
Perfect. Amelie immediately starts telling you about the Candle Princess's birthday.
Oh my god. Yola is like, oh, the Candle Princess. I remember her when she was just a baby, and now look at her. She's all grown up. And just like the Moon Prince too. Goodness gracious, there's so much royalty. Gertrude must be a happy girl.
This is very true.
Gertrude hears that and drops another dish.
Honestly, the Moon Prince also probably drops a dish because they're startled by Gertrude, but also have no subtlety whatsoever, and they think they're being really smooth this whole time. And not.
Just
Uh,
Yola, I am doing a whoopsie, which is I do have the whoopsie, which is make a joke about something you thought I didn't know about.
Yeah. Yep,
I'm
Moonprince
going
100% thought that nobody knew about that.
And you can have-
I'm gonna give that token to Gertrude because
Okay,
I think
I'm-
Gertrude, you need it.
I probably do. You get my whoopsie token, Moon Prince.
Oh, okay. I was gonna give mine to Yola, so that works. out
Okay,
very
yeah,
well.
we all just went in a circle.
we all trade around. We all just do a quick run around.
Yeah.
I will say to prevent the dishes from clattering to the floor again, it is Parrish's turn to save them, and he will and out to the further dish and then snatch up the other one, and they end up kind of like clumsily tucked to his chest. But that will bingo carry out a noble act with dignity and poise.
Amazing.
And I
Dignity
will
with your tongue.
it's not undignified when you're a frog.
Okay, fair.
It's a tool. And I think I am going to give that token to Moon Prince also because
thank you.
you were so taken off guard.
Yeah, I really was. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Parish. Sorry about that. Moon Prince will quietly take another dish.
I
and-
just don't want these to break, and he has to like kind of awkward get them onto the counter where they belong to be rewashed, but still in one piece nonetheless.
I think Gertrude is going to say, like, this is going surprisingly smoothly. I feel like we're
That's
making
when the
good
door
progress.
slams
Exactly.
open and KK comes in.
I was wondering.
I was waiting for a perfect moment. Thank
Yeah.
you, Natalie.
You're welcome.
And the KK just like slams the door open and like it knocks into the wall and just comes just
Oh.
sits down at the table.
Oh, hi. Hey, kid.
Hi.
Are you okay?
No.
What happened?
I'm cool, right? I'm not a little kid. I'm cool.
Yeah, you're very cool.
I mean, little kids can still be cool.
But I'm not a little kid.
No, Hey Kid is technically a tween? A teen?
Yeah, I'm a tween.
Oh, sorry. I mean,
I'm
in
a
that
kid,
case-
but I'm not a little kid.
Okay.
That's not right.
Would a fresh batch of chocolate pudding in the fridge perhaps make a tween feel better? Because there might be one. But only if it would perhaps help this hypothetical
I
tween.
don't know, but in the interest of science, let's find out.
Okay. Here, use this. And he takes one of the bowls that was just watched and hands it over his shoulder.
Your Parish and Hey Kid interaction, that's an incredible interaction. Good, amazing.
Hey Kid takes like the whole bowl and just starts eating out of the like giant
Oh,
serving
well done. I wanted some
with a serving
later.
spoon.
I can make more.
So what did you find? Hey, tween? Does it make you feel better?
I'm Hey Kid,
Okay.
but not Hey Little Kid.
Okay. Okay, so hey, big kid.
No, Hey Kid.
Okay, hey, kid. Okay.
It's kind of helping, yeah.
Good.
I like chocolate a lot.
I guess I
Chocolate's
should bingo
cool.
that also by providing the perfect refreshment. I don't remember the exact words of it, but I know that's one of my things.
Mhm.
Lift
We are
everyone's
going-
spirits with the perfect refreshments.
We
Hey
are going
kid, you
to
can take
get-
that one.
Thank you.
We are
You've
If
learned
you're
that
going to
chocolate
bingo,
pudding
you get
solves
to keep it.
problems.
You don't
Oh,
have to
I
give away
keep it if
bingos. It's
Yeah.
up to you. You don't
keep
have to.
them.
You have to
Keep
give
them.
away what
I'm
they
not gonna
think
take
you
it back
want.
now that I gave it to you. So
I'll take
Like, we actually are washing dishes, but at the rate that we're reusing them, we're going to make like net zero progress here.
I know.
I think Gertrude has totally missed this. Like, she was like really frantically washing a dish and totally missed this. Hey kid doesn't want to be treated like a little kid anymore, and she's gonna go kneel next to Hey Kid and be like, "Hey kid, do you want to see a magic trick?"
You don't know magic, Gertrude.
No, I do now.
You mess them up every time.
Watch this one.
No.
Watch.
No, and I'm gonna start eating more of my pudding.
And Gertrude's gonna do her little cloud thing, but this time it makes like a very bad drawing of Hey Kid, like a little like cloud shaped, like kind of like a crude drawing of Hey Kid.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my new bingo, work a little bit of magic from your area of interest.
What's your area of interest?
Cloud magic.
Oh, unfortunate. Okay.
So oddly specific.
I was gonna say, I think Amelie blinks at it and goes, that doesn't look like Hey Kid.
Well, it looks enough like Hey Kid for me to recognize that it was supposed to be Hey Kid. It does look so.
She's
Therefore,
doing a great job with her magic.
yeah, therefore, it does look like Hey Kid. I think it's great, Gertrude.
I don't know about that. I mean, it's
Certainly better than I could draw.
a good try, but that doesn't look like Hey Kid.
Well, how did you know it was Hey Kid? If it doesn't look like Hey Kid,
Because Gertrude is doing it for Hey Kid.
I suppose
I'm
that
not a
is also
baby,
true.
Gertrude.
Yola's just sipping her tea.
I'm actually gonna
Sips
do.
tea.
Amelie definitely
gonna do
narrows their
this-
LED eyes and is like, that doesn't look like Hey Kid.
I'm gonna do
Amelie.
the whoopsie lapse into silence, and Gertrude's just gonna
Oh,
quietly
Amelie's doing
go
the
back
whoopsie,
and-
which was get passive aggressive.
Okay.
Ooh.
And you can have the token for that whoopsie. Hey Kid.
Amelie's whoopsie, I think, goes to Gertrude.
I think Hey Kid is just like shoveling chocolate
I
into their
think-
mouth, and it's got like a chocolate like ring around their mouth now, and it's made a serious dent in this pudding.
How many more dishes are? Oh my god, how many more dishes are left? Okay, yeah, a fair bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, this is less than there were when I started.
I
Maybe
believe it.
not significantly, but less.
Oh, darling, you're making good headway here. If you would like, I can see if I can help. And Yola, I think, stands up again for the second time in 3 years, and brings her empty cup of tea over to the dish, over to the sink where Gertrude has left. So there's a little spot, and she comes in, and I think, what do I want to do? I think she is going to I think she is going to start washing dishes and lapse into silence. So she is like and then comes over and starts washing dishes, and then like small talk around her just bounces off. Like, you know when you meet someone and they're being silent in a way that's like where it's like, oh, we're just not talking? Okay, that's just the vibe. Okay, yeah, just like I thought you were chatty, but suddenly she's just like, I'm just washing dishes.
It's like when you space out and then the only thing in your head is like the Eyewitness like take home movie music.
Yes, exactly. And then
That
you like come to
specifically.
she's like she hasn't talked to anyone in a little bit. So she's the only people she's talked to are Lady Sherry and Yazeba in the past few years. So she is not feeling chatty, but is instead just washing dishes and kind of minding her own business, maybe for once in her life, or so it seems. Or so it seems. I'm gonna give that token to Moon Prince, because it seems like you're how are you doing with the dishes? You successfully, you didn't end up dropping one, but how are you doing?
I'm doing okay, I think. I'm kind of looking over at Gertrude just because I'm a little bit concerned about her, and I keep trying to like sort of touch her hand as she passes me dishes, but I can't quite get the timing right, so it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think with all the silence,
I
Hey
think
Kid
at
is
one
going to
point
just
you
very
try and touch
loudly.
her hand, and
You just say the word. You just say
Mhm.
the word.
sorry, at what point I tried to touch her hand? Like
Yeah, what were you saying, Jack?
At one point you try and touch her hand, and you accidentally poke Yola instead, and Yola just like looks at you and gives you like a shit-eating grin. Yes, we can hear you. I'm sorry, Stephanie. I think it was just that I was talking and then you started talking, and then
Okay.
it,
When
like,
I started,
got
yeah, there was
cut
nobody talking when I
weirdly.
started
But, yeah,
speaking.
I just wanted to resolve
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, oh, I understand. Yeah, I was talking when you started, so I think
Yeah.
it just glitched out.
Okay.
There. Yeah, but yeah. There you go. You're all good. You
All
can,
right.
That was I wanted to resolve
yeah.
that. And you're good.
with the silence, I think Hey Kid just loudly, just like, I'm gonna change the topic. Is what I'm doing, and I'm just gonna loudly say, "Why are the Ghoul Gang so mean?"
The Ghoul Gang's really cool.
Yeah, they're super cool and super mean.
Yeah, they're really cool. I don't know.
Sometimes people are mean to people who are cool, like you, when they're jealous of how cool you are. So maybe they just want to be more like you, Hey Kid.
Parrish,
Mm-hmm.
I am not a baby.
I just told you cool.
I
The
know
heck
I'm
you
cool.
mean?
But you're telling me that they're being mean to me because they're jealous of me. They're not jealous of me. I'm not a dumb little baby.
In the past few weeks, you have acquired more cookies than I can believe I've baked. You've acquired candy. You've gone to parties. You've cloned yourself. I think you've done plenty of things that people can be jealous of. Certainly more than me.
Really?
All I do is
Huh.
wash dishes around here now. Disgruntledly takes another dish.
Do you want help with that?
Stay seated, you. You work too much already.
I am gonna give my whoopsie token for changing the subject to Parrish. And I'm gonna do a big O, which is listen to someone else and reflect on what they mean. And Hey Kid's just kind of like, huh. Just like lost in their own thoughts at the table for a minute.
But it doesn't mean that it's okay that they do that. By the way, I should have included that in the original statement. They still shouldn't do that because it's not nice.
Right, yeah.
Right.
I'm cool. I'm not mean to people.
That's right.
And you do more than wash dishes. You make dinner. And you made
That's
this
true.
pudding. You gave it to me. It's really good.
Yes, that is an old recipe, and it's recipe's older than you.
And you're making me feel better.
Well, I'm very glad. Aw. He doesn't know what to say now. He's a little bit more pleased.
Amelie starts playing quiet music because Amelie is idling.
Aw. What music does Amelie play as the dishwashing soundtrack music?
I
I want to
think
know this in my head.
I think it is some like 70s Japanese jazz is what's happening quietly in the background.
Oh, I could get
Oh,
on
yeah,
my soapbox
absolutely.
about this. Oh God.
And I
One of
think
those-
Hey
one of
Kid's
those-
just like
mhm.
quietly singing to it. They like, "Da-ba-da-da-da-ba-doo." Like at the table.
I think Yola hands the dish to Gertrude and is like, so you're Gertrude. You're the girl everyone's been talking about.
Everyone's talking about me.
Isn't that what it's like to have fun? Get talked about.
I mean, I'm
It's the
just a day porter. It's not a big thing.
just a day porter. Honey, that's not how everyone feels about you. I think there's a lot of potential in those little bones of yours.
I mean,
Yola does a little like dance hustle, like, you know, the old lady like little like jig where she like kind of pokes you with her butt a little, like.
I mean, I do magic with Yazeba, but I mean, she tells me I don't do a very
Sure.
good job. So
Do you know how many people Yazeba lets do magic with her?
I mean, I know she used to let Sal do it.
Sure.
I guess that's all I know.
There's a reason for that, sweetheart. Yazeba isn't really one to share magic with others. My experience, she views it as mostly a waste of time. But she sees some kind of potential in you, so.
You sure
maybe
that's
there's
really
some
cool?
kind of
Nobby, stick with me. And I'm gonna interrupt someone to show them something I think is cool and show a hair stick that Yazeba gave me in exchange for 3 minutes of silence. And it's got like knobs on it. It's made out of wood.
The way that this hair stick has made it into every single episode.
Good lord.
She wanted
I
5
think-
minutes, but I bargained her to 3.
It was quite
You're an
impressive.
enterprising young business fellow, aren't you? I'm going to take the last token from Gertrude's question.
Okay.
And as I do the bingo, piece together what's really going on. And so I think we do the
Yeah,
Gertrude
we do
text.
the question now. So we're gonna go
Yeah.
around the table with Gertrude going last.
I always imagine this section as being like office style, like getting interviewed by the camera
No,
crew.
that's
Like
very
that's always
good.
how I picture
like
it, but
that.
I don't know how
Yeah.
it is. It's always how I imagine it.
Yeah. So we'll go around in order. Moon Prince, what can you do to take up less space?
Probably Moonprints can probably just stay in their room in the attic and not is probably what they can do.
Mhm. Hey kid, what can you do to take up less space?
I don't know and I don't care because I'm not gonna.
Parrish, what can you do to take up less space?
I should stop overstepping and trying to be everyone's father when I'm not.
Amelie, what can you do to take up less space?
I mean, I think I could probably go back to sleeping in the closet, kind of like folded up. And then we could open up my room to another guest, but I might refuse.
Yola, what could you do to take up less space?
Oh, you don't want an old lady like me taking up less space? That's when you start to get worried, darling. You want me to take up quite a bit more space than I already do. I promise you I'm the life of the party.
And for Gertrude, I think she answers, I guess I probably shouldn't insist on showing everyone my magic.
Good lord.
Oh.
I'm gonna give my whoopsie token to Gertrude when
Okay.
I interrupted for my knobby stick.
Mhm.
I think Moonprince will just kind of quietly say to Gertrude, "You can show me your magic. I would always like to see it."
Thanks. All I can do is kind of make clouds that are shaped like things. Like look, this one's you. And I think it's actually much better than the Hey Kid one. And I'm gonna do a bingo of work a little tiny bit of magic from my thing.
Yeah, and honestly, the Moonprince is going to be like, "Oh, it's me. It looks exactly like me."
Oh, actually, that was a really good one. I don't think I've done one that good before.
Honestly, that was great.
Thanks.
And I'm going to embarrass myself with my own enthusiasm
Okay.
because it genuinely was really good, and I honestly haven't seen Gertrude do one that looks as accurate. So I think I'm going to keep. Actually, no, I can't keep that. I am going to give it to Yola because Yola's watching this whole thing go down and can tell what's happening. So.
Oh yes, sorry. Yeah. I think Yola just kind of gives Moonprince a little smile. And I'm gonna take the token and hold on to it because I guess I do have a journey somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I killed the mood by having a sad answer to that question.
Mine was pretty sad.
I think
Yeah.
Amelie finally
Yeah, it was some
stands
sad
up.
answers.
I mean, it's a sad question.
It was a
Like,
sad
It is a
question.
really sad question.
Yeah.
Oh, Amelie, go for it.
Amelie finally stands up from their chair and is like, "That's it. I refuse to sit down anymore. Please let me help with the dishes.
no,
Please."
it's okay.
Oh,
It's
sweet.
okay, Emily. We have it.
No,
And the Moonprince almost drops a dish,
Moonprince,
but then
darling.
catches it.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yola is like, Moonprince, darling. When a fellow like Amelie knows what they want, you have to make space for that. Listen, I've seen what it's like to get in the way of a powerful person who needs to do some dishes. I'll have you know that I once stayed in the garden of Marilyn Monroe, and some days she would wake up and she needed to do dishes, and you wouldn't want to see what she was like when that happened. So I encourage you. And I kind of step out of the way gracefully and kind of hobble back over to my seat and just kind of use it as, I'm like, I've done enough dishes. I've washed 2 mugs and that I was the one who made dirty. I've done enough.
So yeah, that's Amelie whoopsieing and refusing to diverge from their programming, and then takes Yola's spot and starts doing dishes. at a slightly quicker pace than I think the crew was previously moving because it's
I
Amelie.
think dishes immediately get smoother.
Yes.
And, like cleaner dishes are coming out of our like line. It's
And Amelie will give their whoopsie to Moon Prince for trying to be kind and not let them do dishes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
um,
Hey, Miss Yola, do you like to color? Do you want to color with me?
Oh, honey, of course I like to color. Come sit down. What sort of pictures do you color?
I'm making the world's coolest comic book right now, and it's all about me and my friends. Well, it's about oh, I forgot what I named them. I think it's about Hello Demon, and their friends at the like flipping frantically through pages of my tablet. This is definitely not just me, Stephanie, forgetting what I named this 3 weeks ago.
It is very funny for Hey Kid to
at
not
a
remember also
hotel.
that.
Yeah, they live at a hotel. Hello Demon and all their friends, and I'm like showing you like drawings. And then Hello Demon opened the portal to another world, to a bunch of worlds, and there were a whole bunch more in Hello Demons. And then now
Sounds
this
like a
is
very
where we're at.
chaotic life they lead.
And
Very
there's like a picture
exciting.
of Hey Kid next to definitely Hey Kid. It's not Hello Demon, it's Hey Kid. Next to like a red one and a yellow one.
Oh god, I forgot this more Hey Kids. Yes. I think Yolo's like, I see that there's been a lot of Hello Demons running around. I've certainly heard them scuffling up the floor. Now, sweetheart, have you ever had tea before?
Sometimes Hers makes me drink it when I'm sick, and it makes my throat feel funny but better.
Well, there's many different kinds of tea. Besides the ones that you drink just when you're sick, I have a tea that you might like an awful lot.
Yeah.
Well, certainly. I think so I think Yolo's like, sit down with me. Let's color. Show me how to color. I'm not very good at it. I would love to learn from you. And while you do, let's have some tea. I think Yola pulls out some tea that's very like medicating ADHD core tea. Like it's
So you
very
put
much
a little
like,
amphetamines in it?
it's caffeinated. Yola's kind of taking a risk giving Hey Kid caffeine. It's definitely a risky maneuver to give Hey Kid caffeine for sure. It's very much this could either go good or very poorly.
Depends on how much caffeine, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's a black tea, but it's a very kind of like light black tea. And I think Yola prepares it and hands Hey Kid a cup, a mug, and she's drinking her mug herself, and she's like, "Now show me how to draw. I must confess,
Take a
I'm not
crayon
very good
and
at
you just color
coloring."
all over.
Warhol refused to teach me when I was staying in his garden. He said it was men's work, but that's just because he was a little gay, if you know what I mean.
I don't, but he sounds like a jerk.
He was shot,
Maybe he deserved it. Who wouldn't teach you art, Yola? You're cool.
I try my best. I rather think I am rather cool. There was one man who once tried to teach me art. His name was Monet. He was a very talented fellow, but he seemed a little... He didn't care much for lines, so I never really learned that much about lines. And I was never a good artist anyway. Back in the day, I was honestly more of a muse.
You were funny?
Oh, well, I'm funny right now, darling.
You
aren't
are
I?
funny.
Yes. Have some tea.
Okay. Oh, do you put sugar in tea sometimes, maybe?
Oh, yes. Let's get you some honey, dear. Pulls
A
out
lot of honey.
Honey. Yeah.
And maybe some chocolate pudding too. Can we put chocolate pudding in the tea?
I recommend having the chocolate pudding alongside the tea. I worry that if you mix it in, the chocolate will go up and the pudding will go down, and then the part you like won't
Oh, it gets bad. It like does the thing to the milk. Paris told me one time, but I don't remember all of it.
Curdling.
That curdling.
You're a very smart fellow. You
Okay,
know your way
try.
around.
I try. Parrish is real smart. He teaches me all kinds of things. Hey, Miss Yola.
Yes.
Are we friends?
Of course we're friends.
Cool. And I'm doing the bingo make a new friend.
Wah, very sweet.
It's my favorite bingo. I'm taking the last one off of Parrish's.
Ooh, all right.
Ooh, spicy.
Okay. So let's go around and answer the question. Make Parrish go last. Moon Prince, can you do more than just help out?
I can be. I hope I can be Gertrude's best friend. And maybe beyond.
Gertrude says, I actually don't feel like I'm that good at helping out. Like, I feel like I'm better at other stuff. Hey, kid, can you do more than just help out?
Yeah, I could do so many things. I could run really fast, and I draw really good pictures, and I make a lot of friends, and I could always find the cookies no matter where Paris puts them, and I can light on fire, and I can get really big. It'll just like goes on for like 10 minutes.
Amelie, can you do more than just help out?
Yes, I think I can eventually. I mean, helping is my main function, but I am working on downloading more.
Yola, can you do more than just help out?
You're lucky that I help out, frankly. At my age, really, you're the ones who should be helping me.
Parrish, can you do more than just help out?
I don't know. I don't know which of my actions classify as helping out and which of them classify as hobbies and which one of them classifies as things to do for yourself. I don't know.
Okay. And we cut back to the action.
Kid is giving a long lecture on like the nature of the yellow hay kid. And Mark IV is the red one. Just like long rambling.
Yola is listening intently.
And then just interrupts us. Do you make flowers?
Oh yes, but only in the springtime. And right now it's unfortunately autumn.
Yola,
you
have you seen our greenhouse?
You have a greenhouse, you say? And you didn't wheel me into it? You left me in the kitchen for 3 years while you built a greenhouse?
You have not been in this kitchen for 3 years.
Yola looks at you like,
actually,
yes,
Yola has
Pop.
been here for 3 years.
In this room? The
Yeah,
whole
right
time?
here,
Yes.
in the chair. McSomily
it
waters
looks a lot
her.
like a pot, so I understand. But yes, I've been taking a nap.
Well, we'll have to wheel you out sometime. We've been tending to it. We've been growing basil, maybe a little too successfully at this point.
We have a
Because
basil
Yazeba-
tree.
Yeah.
We went to the roof.
I can't believe men like you. I've been sitting in here looking beautiful for 3 years, and you've been too busy distracted by your cakes and your spaghetti to notice me.
It's really good
Useless.
cakes and spaghetti.
I
I'm sure
I
they are.
apologize, Miss Yola, but that isn't quite my leaning.
Yola titters a little and is like, oh, I know a few fellows of that sort. I should next time we're in the big city, I will have to introduce you. There's this incredible
Oh,
fellow
no.
named Sondheim. I think you get along so well.
No, not until I'm human.
And I think the
Why-
Moon Prince will recognize the names sometime and be like, oh, Sondheim, the frogs. And then kind of, can I do a bingo and a whoopsie at the same time? Like,
Sure. Totally.
yeah, I'm going to share a bit of knowledge that people didn't know I know because the Moon Prince knows who Sondheim is, but also messes up something they thought they could handle because that's clearly not. Maybe that was the joke, but it's the kind of thing you shouldn't say out loud. Okay, I'm going to give my whoopsie to Parrish. Yeah.
Well, listen, there's a lot of great composers in the big city, and some of them even write songs about frogs. And others there's a lovely handsome fellow. I think there's a lot of people I would love to introduce you to if you ever want to come down to. Me and Lady Sherry are planning a vacation in just a few months. We're going down to the big city. We're going to go to all the shopping districts. We're going to visit Broadway, and I think that you would look absolutely dashing. I think there's some fellows that you could meet if you know what I mean. I'm gonna.
He's so overwhelmed.
Amazing.
I know. I am misunderstanding the stakes of the situation.
Okay.
And I'm going to give my token to Parrish because I think Parrish needs it for this one.
This is how I'm gonna try to diffuse this, and I don't know if it's gonna go well. I'm gonna go,
Mhm.
oh, I don't know if we can get, time off like that, right, Amelie?
No, you could definitely get time off like that if you asked for it. I'm sure Miss Yazeba would give it to you.
Right. I'll have to ask about that then. Oh,
I'll put-
She like Gertrude and the Moon Prince?
what am I gonna what?
what?
Gonna get all mushy?
I'm not mushy. Well, I mean, I'm physically mushy. I'm and he like presses on his arm a
You're
little
gonna
bit.
get cooties!
I'm not going to get cooties. I am not going to get. Nope. I am not going to get to. I don't date. I don't
Processing.
date. I'm too old.
Processing. Cooties is a fictitious childhood disease commonly represented in child lore. It is similar to the
It's
artist's
not
dreaded lurgy.
fictitious. It's real. It's what makes like teenagers and grown-ups and they get all mushy and they get like little stars in their eyes. And they're like, oh, I love you. That's that. That's cooties.
You have
I'm never
said
leaving this
Gross.
B&B again.
you have
I'm
said
never
Hey, kid.
leaving this
two-
bed and
Hey,
breakfast
kid,
again.
you are just like your mother. She can't
Or
stand
maybe
that
I'll
sort of
leave
thing
and never come
either.
back.
You know my mom?
Yola kind of does a little smile and a little nod and is like, I've met your mother. So she's well, your
What?
adoptive mother, darling.
Oh.
But I have met your father. I don't think we should talk
Do you
about that.
do you
until I
do you
come
do
to
you know the thing in the outhouse too?
Yola
The poo poo
sighs,
demon?
is like, I'm familiar with the Kako Daemon. It is,
I can't remember that, so I
is
call him
not-
the poo poo demon.
As you should. He's a very unpleasant fellow. No, your
But-
father is
but
very
he-
different from that, but I reckon that it's not best to talk about such a man, and I wouldn't if I were you.
every time I go into the outhouse, there's nothing there.
I prefer to
That's
use the indoor plumbing, and just a
Parrish?
preference.
Parrish told me I shouldn't talk to him, but Rag and Bone said he sounded cool, so
Because we're taking advice from Rag and Bones now.
Rag and Bones is the coolest. The coolest.
Well, I went to try and eradicate the situation, but I went in and there was nothing there.
I don't know.
Yola
Is the
shrugs
demon
and is
hiding
like,
from me?
"Maybe."
On one hand, that isn't so hard to believe.
Listen, I don't know why we're worrying about this poo-poo Damon when we really Yola kind of like sighs to herself, clearly bored by any conversation that doesn't let her talk about her exploits or brag about famous people she knows.
Yes, it's fine. It's fine. I don't need to know anything about my problems or my parents. It's fine. I don't know anything about
Listen.
my parents.
That Damon in the bathroom has nothing to offer you. He's just a weird little fellow. But your
Yeah, it's
father,
fine. I definitely don't want to know all about my parents and the
You
horn
and I,
and
we
crown
can
I
have-
see in my dreams. It's fine. I'm laughing off my troubles, but doing nothing to solve them.
If it's,
I think Yola is like
Uh,
I think Yola is like, we should get coffee. We should have tea together at some point in the morning. The morning time is the best time to discuss it. We shouldn't talk about your father so late at night. And I think her voice hardens a little bit, and you hear that like maybe she knows a little bit more than she's making it sound like she's. And then like as she says that, like the room I think gets a little darker, and the bulb kind of flickers a little bit more, and there's like a little bit of like the dishware, like the clean dishware that's kind of drying, shakes a little bit, and there's like and she's like, we can discuss this more in the morning when the sun is bright and everything is fine. Right now, we really ought to focus on getting dishes clean so that we can go meet with the rest of the bed and breakfast, and everyone else is out there having dinner. We should be doing that too, shouldn't we?
Okay. And I'm gonna give you my token for my whoopsie. In the morning, we'll talk.
How many
In the
more dishes are left?
Only
So-
just a couple, my dear. Let's
Only
get
a
to
few more.
work. Yola says, "Let's get to work," and does not stand up.
I think Hey Kid holds up the bowl and spoon.
Oh,
It's
Moon
just
Prince will
these,
take
hey,
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yes, it is those. Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Wait,
just
by
keeps
now it-
holding them, expecting
Yeah.
someone to take them from
yeah,
him.
yeah. Moon Prince will take it if it's empty. It's empty, right?
Oh yeah, no kidding.
Okay.
All of that pudding.
Okay. Moon
He's
Prince will look in
gonna
it.
have a tummy ache.
Yeah, honestly, Moon Prince will look inside it and be like, "Oh, if I
Uh.
hadn't seen you eat from it, I would have thought this was clean already." And kind of shrug and hand it to.
I licked it. And just, like,
Actually-
wipe a bunch of
Emily-
chocolate off my
Hey
face.
kid, you're gonna do me a huge favor right now, and you're going to take this. And he has to like climb up on the counter to get into a top cabinet, where there are a few like over the counters, and he gets a Tums and puts it in Hey Kid's hand. With water, chew. Don't swallow that whole.
Is it candy? Did you give me candy?
Yes, that should taste like strawberry or cherry. I can't remember what the
How
pink one
is
is.
old? I think it's a really old candy. Just like chews it and swallows it.
Okay.
You should eat all of it because it's old and I don't think it's gonna last a lot longer.
All right, then I won't have one. Thank you for trying it for me.
No, you should. You should have it so that because you can just throw candy away.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't need one right now because I'm busy washing dishes.
I have some candy.
I will eat
Have
one.
some candy first. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna be like,
Hey kid will just climb right up the fridge.
Amelie, it's not candy. I gave them an antacid tablet. You don't need to eat that.
Antacid
don't
tablet
think-
processing. Oh.
Hey kid's
This
like
is-
shaking the jar.
This is
Candy,
candy.
candy, 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 candy.
Okay. I'm going to tongue grab it from Hey Kids. Stop shaking it.
They did make a fun sound in that container.
Hey, see, McSomely gets it. Have some fun, Parrish.
We will have fun shortly. The dishes are almost done.
Exactly. And then when the dishes are done, I can go into my room and I can read my book. And you can all go eat dinner while I read my book.
Or you can come to dinner.
Oh, I eat while I cook, really.
I mean, but like dinner's also for hanging out and talking to people.
but my book.
People?
I will rock, paper, scissors you for it.
For the opportunity to read your book?
Don't you want to make more friends, Parrish?
I mean, I am already friends with all of you. If you
There's more
would
people
really
outside.
like me to come sit at the table, then I can.
Yeah, I think you should.
I am indifferent. You should do what
Okay,
you want.
I
Right,
will-
Gertrude? Parrish should make friends. Friends are good.
Parrish should go read if Parrish wants to.
Okay.
Sometimes.
This
You
time,
should come make more friends too.
Okay. I said I
and
would
you,
come.
and I'll like point at Moon Prince.
well, there's time to do both.
And I'll wheel you out, Miss Yola.
Oh, darling, I have plenty of friends. Don't worry about me. But I'll be.
You should
on-
make
I'll be on
more.
to dinner soon.
More friends is always good.
Well,
Yola
there's
said,
time
"Of
to do
course, I
both."
completely agree. Don't worry.
You got a lot of stories. That's the point of having stories. If you don't have anybody to tell them to.
Exactly, I agree. What good is gossip if it's all by yourself? Don't worry, I have plenty of people to make friends with. I heard that there's a dashing gentleman who has recently arrived, a man with a dark and brooding past and a lot of books he's published. I think Edmund Wakeman and I should have a conversation.
He says
Oh.
he can talk to ghosts.
He is quite
Oh.
wonderful. He gave me a book that I gave to
And
Gertrude
recently widowed.
for her birthday.
Why would you give a book to Gertrude?
It was her birthday.
But she can't read.
I can read.
Yes, she can.
Gertrude can read.
No, she can't.
Gertrude
Yes.
can't read. Good lord.
I will be honest.
It's
I
my
assumed
favorite.
that the book had pictures.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I did
Plenty
not
of
open
good
it.
books
my
have
darling,
pictures.
No, whatever. Gertrude, my darling, you have nothing to be ashamed about if you can't read. You know,
I
Prince
can
Charles,
read.
and
read.
now, second in line for the throne.
I like what?
All the books that I read as a child about King Arthur and Merlin had pictures. I don't see why it's wrong for a good book to have pictures.
Yeah, pictures is fun.
I like pictures, but I can read.
I know you can read. I've seen you read.
Yes, I know Gertrude can read too.
Darling, I told you there's nothing to be ashamed of. Plenty of great people have become presidents. No, that's not true.
Great is the
Plenty of
word that
people-
we're using.
I disagree. Let me try that one again. Plenty of men have become presidents without knowing how to read, and they've certainly earned a place in the history books. I'm sure that you can do better than that. It's okay to be illiterate.
But Gertrude is better than men, partially because she can read, right?
What an incredible talent.
I can
No,
read. Am I better than men?
Yes.
Darling, of course.
Cool.
I think I can't wash any dishes. Is anyone else washing? Good.
Oh.
Lady Share, sorry, Yola cannot wash dishes.
I'm gonna do the bingo
Amelie is
of
absolutely
make
washing
myself
dishes.
useful
Yeah.
and wash the
yeah.
bowl.
The
Gotta be
actual
almost
movie-
done by
Ger-
now.
Yeah.
Gertrude seething into a big
Yeah.
thing of like like foam like big bubble thing in the sink.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's like, oh, you can't read.
Yeah.
I think while that conversation was going on, I was just holding the bowl, like doing nothing with it. So then I just, I probably wouldn't notice if Gertrude just took it. Like,
Yeah.
I love how awkward your moon prince is. I love
Yeah.
that so much about them. I love them just standing there like,
they're so awkward. Just because, like, people kind of paused in the line and didn't want to, like, mess up this conversation.
Don't
But
want
then,
to be rude, of course.
yeah, I don't want to be rude. Like,
He gets like furiously scribbling with green, like has like worn down half their green crayon. And sits down and says, Miss Yola, what color are your flowers when you have flowers?
Oh, there are all sorts of colors. It's based on how I feel and my mood.
What's your favorite?
Pink, of course, my darling. I'm always a
Okay.
sentimental girl at heart.
I'm grabbing pink and just like drawing big like loops. And then I'll like hold up and I've drawn like across the entire page. I've drawn like various branches and like shapes of Yola, and I just wrote Yola, Miss Yola on it in really big, like uneven block letters. Then I'm gonna put this on your chair so that people know you're there.
Oh, well, don't put it on my chair, darling, but you can put it over on the fridge and it can sit right there.
But I was gonna put it on you so that people know that you're there, so that like men don't walk by you and not see you, because that's bad.
Listen, child, if a man walks by me and doesn't see me, that's his problem, not mine. And she gives kind of, I think, makes a salacious wink, and I feel like that's a good, like, he can just like, what?
Yeah, he
And I
can
think
not
at
get
that
And the best drawings always go on the fridge, so it has to go on the
Exactly, and
fridge.
that is a wonderful drawing. Those pink flowers, those are Lady Sherry's favorite flowers. I think it would look wonderful on the fridge.
Miss Lady Sherry was she's a lot like Miss Yazeba, I think.
Oh, well, I certainly have a kind of woman in my life who seems to show up. Lady Sherry is a very, she's a very intelligent woman and very wise too, but she still has her heart, and I think that's what makes them different. She's just a little vampiric about it. And besides, you've only ever hung out with her without me. I really bring out her good side.
She was nice. We looked at stars together.
Yeah, I enjoyed her company when we hung out with her.
yeah, she was very
Oh,
pleasant.
wonderful. Well, I enjoy her. I enjoy her company when I hang out with her. I just, people tend to get a bit grouchy about the whole thing.
That was startling. That was quite startling.
I am not
Yes.
one to judge.
Wait, Miss Yola.
Yes, my darling.
Does Miss Yazeba not have a heart? Is that what you said?
Yola kind of pauses for a moment and is like, well, sometimes she had to sell it a long time ago.
Oh.
You have to sometimes make sacrifices to make the world a better place. It's her burden and her joy that she has made a beautiful home.
She's grouchy sometimes?
Sometimes, yes, it is why, and it is her great tragedy, I will say. She did not used to be that way. As someone who, she was a closer friend before. But I visit here, and she is still a lovely host, even if she is not the kind soul she was when she was young. But people change, and that's okay.
I think I am doing a bingo of listen to someone else and reflect on what they mean. And I'm gonna sit
Ooh.
quietly at the table and flip to a new page in my drawing tablet book and just start drawing real carefully now, like real carefully.
Oh.
Normally he gets like
Mhm.
the crayons, but just like real
Mhm,
carefully
mhm.
drawing.
I don't think Miss Yazeba is how do you say, unkind to people on purpose, but I do think she's unkind to herself on purpose.
She's, in a lot of ways, she carries a terrible amount of anger at herself. For it's a terrible thing to sell your heart, and it's a very guilty thing because she knows that in a lot of ways she doesn't feel that she deserves to have this place. And so a lot of her anger becomes about other people because it hurts. It hurts to know how much you love people and not feel it. It hurts to carry so much love in your heart that you can't bear to carry it any longer. And I think she feels terribly guilty, which is an awful shame, for she has nothing to feel guilty about. She's made a lovely place with room enough for me to take a nap for a few years.
Now, you said you knew Yazeba before.
Yes, I spent a brief stint staying in her college gardens, and she and her friends would always hang out there and get drunk late into the night, and we had many chances to chat and become friendly.
Presuming that you mean that she sold it literally, do you know who she sold it to?
Yola glances out the window over at the kind of the last remains of the party where Monday is having a conversation with Sal. And the two of them are talking about something, and Yola looks back and is like, I mean, who's to say? She pauses for a moment, remembering that she's a gossip, and she's like, well, you can't trust fairy merchants, especially that fellow Monday. They delight in failed hope, and that's what leads them down their fascination.
It starts to connect in Parrish's mind, like Monday sold me like a thing that I really loved that seemed to appear out of thin air, and then it was nothing in a few days. And Yazeba didn't come with us to the market, and everything that happened with Monday tempting Gertrude, like the Zach Galifianakis numbers are happening. He's silent
Yes,
for
absolutely.
a while. He's silent for a while, and he has like a plastic cup that he's like washed in his hand, and it starts to like bend a little as he's like squeezing it. As he starts to figure it out and get a little bit angry.
Yola sighs and is like, that's the challenge, is that in order to make something beautiful, you have to give away a piece of yourself.
No,
and
you
sometimes
don't. No, she doesn't have to.
Yola pauses.
No, we would all still be here.
I think Yola's voice becomes heavy and says, Parrish, my darling, do you really think that she gave away her heart as her first attempt to build a better place? Do you really think that this isn't the first time she learned she had to sacrifice? In comparison to what she gave up before, that poor woman, a heart is a small price to pay.
I think Gertrude is going to break through the kind of uncomfortable silence and kind of lean over to Moon Prince and be like, hey, I don't feel like going back out to the party. You want to go hang out on the roof?
Yeah. And Prince will be like, yeah, but also Gertrude, can you promise me something?
Yeah, of course.
Can you promise me that you'll keep your heart?
Yeah, I promise.
Okay. Thank you.
And I think Gertrude and Moon Prince are going to kind of quietly slip out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know if I
And
get a
I
bingo
think-
for that because that's keep myself or someone
We're
else
out of
safe,
tokens,
even if
so
it's
there's
against
no
the
more
rules.
bingo.
I guess I
You're
don't
out
do
of
that.
tokens.
Okay, I feel
We're
yeah.
we're in full wrap up mode.
yeah.
Mhm.
Amelie.
Sorry, Dana, who plays Yazeba, just put in the chat. Please remember to put Yazeba's secrets back in her room after you're done airing them all out.
Yola's a gossip. It's in her
This
Yeah.
is what you
nature.
get
She
for
can't
hiding in your
help
study.
it. Yola is a gossip. It's her problem. She can't help herself. She just loves sharing other people's dirty laundry. It's not her fault that Yazeba has very interesting dirty laundry. Really, my dear, if I'm telling you all this, we really should be having a cup of tea.
Did we even finish
So-
we finished the dishes, right?
We have finished. Yeah, the
Yeah.
dishes are
Yeah,
done.
dishes
The
are
chapter
done.
is by all rights.
Yeah, now everyone's just hanging
it's
out. in the
being
kitchen.
held up by Yola dropping lore.
And everyone be like,
If I can, Parrish takes down one of many things that are like magneted or clipped to the fridge, and it has a tentative menu for this upcoming beach trip of
Mhm.
things that he's going to pack. And he
Mhm.
flips it over and takes a pen from the junk drawer, because you know the junk drawer.
course.
And
Of
he writes something on the back of the paper and folds it in half, and he looks at you, Amelie, and addresses you, Amelie. Would you mind just looking this menu over for me, and making sure that it's all copacetic before we go out?
Parrish, are you sure that you want me to look at the menu?
Just to cross-reference everyone's allergies and such, and
I do
there's
have a
stuff on
database of that. I can certainly help.
there's stuff on both sides. When you do unfold it, the back part says like, find out how much it costs to buy it back.
Ooh.
Amelie definitely looks at Parrish and goes, "This looks
There-
correct."
There is an actual menu like on the front.
Yeah, but sees the message and is like,
Thanks.
"Got it."
I think it is still super intensely, carefully drawing, and like there's a lot of color on this paper now.
You want to do the ending question and then
Yeah.
wrap up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I also
we'll
haven't
bring
had.
it home.
I also haven't had dinner. My dinner arrived, so I'm.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, let's bring
Fair
this
enough.
thing home. So
Mhm.
the last question is where am I supposed to fit in? But because we only got 9 tokens on it, your answer you have to say something unrelated to someone else trying to be supportive.
Hmm.
Wait, can you explain that sentence in another way?
Yeah, the commas are in a poor spot.
Okay.
Taking notes for the.
Well,
for
let's
the feedback.
let's ask the author of where those
One
comments
of them. I'll yeah.
One of
The
the
intent
authors,
is where am I supposed to fit in? And we say something unrelated, like we mutter something unrelated to someone else. Like
Okay.
we can't answer the
Ah,
question directly.
got it.
So we're gonna kind of take it's like you can't answer the question directly, so you're gonna kind of say something unrelated to someone else that's like not about the question, but it's kind of like trying to get there, but you can't really say it. It's kind of the intent. It's the goal of when I did write this chapter, although it had a much clunkier mechanic that M I think has gone in and fixed. I was very worried when we were first playing it, and then M did it better.
Okay.
Words hard.
So
Do you want me to go first to set the example?
Yeah, please.
Or do you want to go for it?
No, please go first.
I was gonna say, I think so. The question, where am I supposed to fit in? I think Yola says to Parrish, she does still care about you, even if she can't feel it. And I think that's like, it's like part of a larger conversation, but I'm like snapshot that moment and put it up on the wall there.
As Parrish watches Gertrude and MP leave, he will mutter like halfway to himself, but still within the conversation to Yola. Good chef is always more than a chef.
I think there's just kind of a quiet moment, and like there's like the din of the garden party kind of down below, while Moon Prince and Gertrude are up on the roof, and Gertrude's just gonna be like, I think I like the party a lot better up here.
And I think Moon Prince is going to be like, yeah, the stars are, it's easier to see the stars here. And look at Gertrude.
Yeah.
I think there's like a scene of like Amelie helping Hey Kid up because Hey Kid is now like almost falling asleep on their feet, and Amelie's like helping them up the stairs, and it's like taking the picture and like folding it and folding it and folding it and folding it as they walk up the stairs. So they like, oh, the stories are better than real life a lot of the times, Miss Amelie. And then I'm gonna take this picture as we go past Yazeba study, and I'm gonna like force it under the door, but it won't go because I folded it too many times. And so I have to like unfold it all of the way before it'll fit back under. And it is like all of the people. So it's like Hey Kid and Hey Kid and Hey Kid and Moon Prince and Gertrude and Amelie and Yola and Miss Sherry and like Iker and you know Agatha Vidrine and everyone we've seen, and just like in a big shape of a heart, it like slides it under the door into Yazeba's study.
I think Amelie like helping Hey Kid is like, this is true. Sometimes the stories are better than real life, but they do say art imitates life.
And that's going to be the end of our episode. Thank you everyone so much for watching. It's been great having all of you here in the audience. Max, what do you have going on? Where can people find you?
Oh, me. You can find me a lot of places in real life. Coming up, I'll be at Anime Central in Chicago later this month, so you can see me there if you go to that. And then next month, I will be starting a Cypher actual play on TTRPG. Sal's actor Joel will be one of my players in that. They aren't in this episode, but we'll both be there. Oh, and I'm Arcane Goth on the internet, so I'm really tired today.
Sebastian, who are you? Where can people find you?
Yep.
You got going on?
I'm Sebastian. I'm a writer, performer, and editor. I'm just on Twitter at SebastianUA. I feel like I'm not really doing anything these days, but like I'm doing a lot. I don't know.
Mood.
Thank you. Yeah.
Stephanie, who are you? Where can people find you? What you got going on?
I am Stephanie Allen. As I said before, I'm the other half of Charm Person Games. We are a queer women-owned professional game master for hire service. You can book with us at charmpersongames.com. You can book with me or Natalie. We'll run any game you want for any event you want. And I also make overlays and the starting soon, be back soon screens. I made this overlay and several other overlays you've seen on Carrion Comfort Studios. And you can also catch me in another actual play on Tuesday nights over at Huntsman's Hydra. We are playing Swords of the Serpentine, which isn't even available yet. So you get like a whole sneak preview. It's really cool. If you like dark stories, if you like when I'm creepy instead of manic, you should definitely check it because I got to be real creepy. So that's Tuesday nights at 8:00 Eastern.
Jay, who are you? Where can people find you? What do you got going on?
Oh, I'm I'm little old J Dragon. I'm you can find me most places. I'm pretty easy. There's not a lot of J Dragons in the world. So if you find one, there's decent odds it's actually me. You can also, I'm the editorial director of Possum Creek Games. We're currently in a post Indiegogo kind of like the kind of energy of like a post Thanksgiving dinner, like food coma. Like we're in the post Indiegogo exhaustion coma. But you can find the work that we do on possumcreekgames.com or possumcreekgames.itch.io. Me and my business partner Ruby do a bunch of cool stuff, and we have a Patreon, which you should come and support. Patreon.com/possumcreek, where folks hang out, cool stuff happens. It's a great time. Patreon is the best way to help support us, and you should come do that. And check out Yazeba's Bed and Breakfast. I've heard it's pretty good.
Leslie, what do you have going on, and what's going on in Carrion Comfort Studios this week?
Hi everyone, I'm Leslie. You can find me on Twitter at Leslie Wombat. Otherwise, I am on a stream on Sundays on Martlet Games where I play a Nosferatu DJ in an Anarchs game set in Indianapolis. Otherwise, I'm the content manager here at Carrion Comfort Studios. So tomorrow we're back with Kingdom Hearts: The Interstitial War at 7:30. We're in our finale arc for that series, so that's very fun and exciting. Saturday we're back with Late Night Comfort. Kingdom Hearts is at 7:30 Eastern. Late Night Comfort is at 9 p.m. Eastern, where we'll be interviewing Table Goth Bully. So that'll be fun and exciting. Sunday we'll be back with Carrion Comfort News at 3 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday we'll be back with Comfort Sickle at our new time of 7 p.m. And then we'll be back again Wednesday with Good Game Well Played at 7 p.m. And then wrapping back around to Yazeba's Bed and Breakfast next week at 7 p.m.
All right. 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Oop, the schedule says 7. I think I do that every time.
I probably should have been paying more attention every time then. Hi, I've been Natalie Pudum. I'm the other half of Charm Person Games. We're a professional game master service for hire. You can hire us for your corporate events, parties, bat mitzvahs, or funerals. We'll run any game, anytime, anywhere. We also run games for Twitch streams. As this show is running to a close, we're currently looking for places to run our games. We've got lots of ideas. If you've got a night you want to show, we do promotion, we do all our own work, we do casting. Like, all you have to do is give us your stream key and we will run a show and produce content for your channel. The other thing is I've written a game, Sapphic Space Pirates. It's available on itch.io for $5. You can pick it up now.
I'd rather enjoy it. I think it's pretty good. I think you should go check it out.
Oh, thank you so much. That really means a lot.
I think I have my copy somewhere over here among my zines.
Yeah, and I want to thank Evan Galloway for a theme song, A Ways Away. I want to thank Jay Dragon and Possum Creek Games for working with us and letting us run this awesome game on the stream. We will see you next Thursday at 8 p.m. for our double-length finale episode, episode 12, chapter 83, Day at the Beach, featuring Kayla Fate, Brian Lieberger, and the return of Jay Dragon. Until next time, comfort comes soon.